In this video, we are going to discuss about the message digest algorithm, which seems to be a better way of hiding the message. Actually, the message digest algorithm is used to find out the message digest, or you can call it as a hash value related to the message which is being sent from one place to another place. And the purpose of using the message digest algorithm is to find out the message digest, so that if there is any alteration in the message, and then it will be find out that whether when the receiver is going to receive that message which is altered, he will also try to find out the altered message digest, and if both the message digest are not same, it means the receiver will be able to know that there is some alteration which is done in between, and it is unable to accept that message. So it is just based on the principle of integrity, in which whenever the message is being sent from one place to another place, from sender to the receiver should receive the message as it is without any alteration, and for that particular purpose the sender is going to derive a message digest of the complete message, or you can call it as a hash value related to that message, and along with the message it also sends the message digest value or the hash value. And whenever it is being received by a receiver is again going to find out the message digest of the message, and both the message digest is being compared by the receiver. If both are same, it means it will able to know that there is no alteration which is being done in between and accept the message. So as far as the idea of the message digest is concerned, it is somehow related to the LRC and the CRC, which you have studied in the network. The whatever is the concept of longitudinal redundancy check, or whatever is the concept of cyclic redundancy check, that is used to verify the integrity of the data, just to ensure that a message has not been tampered after it leaves the sender place and before it reaches to the receiver. So that is for that particular purpose the message digest is being calculated, and for that purpose we used to use the algorithm. So as far as the message digest is concerned, it is also called hash, which is a unique representation of a message, and it is very much similar to the same fingerprint of a human, because every human is having different fingerprints. Similarly, every message will be having a different hash value or the message digest value. Now as far as the idea of the message digest is concerned, you can consider it by a simple example, in which suppose the original number is 7391743. So first of all, what we do, we multiply first two numbers on the left hand side. 3 is multiplied, so it becomes 21, and we will discard the first digit and we remain with the 1. Then 1 is multiplied by the next number. 1 is multiplied by the next number, so that you will getting 9. So it is a single digit number, we don't discard anything. Then 9 is multiplied by the next number, this is 1, so it will remain 1. And then this 9 will be multiplied by 7, so get 63. This 6 will be discarded and we will remain with 3. This 3 will be multiplied by 4, so we will get 12. We discard 1, we remain with 2, and 2 will be multiplied by 3, so we will be getting 6. So it means whatever the message is, its message digest is 6 by doing the process to obtain a message digest for a particular number, given set of numbers. So similarly, what we do whenever a message is to be sent, we apply similar kind of operations, so that we derive something related to the message. We derive something, as here 6 is being derived from 7391743 with this particular process. Similarly, for any kind of message, we adopt certain operation, and with this we try to find out the message digest value related to that particular message. Now as far as the concept of the message digest is concerned, this is very simple. We have certain criteria, we have certain demands, we have certain requirements which the message digest algorithm, which is being applied to calculate the message digest, should follow. That if we have original message we must have an algorithm with the help of which we are able to calculate the message digest. This is the first concept. Now, as far as the requirement and the demand is concerned, the first requirement or the first demand of the message digest algorithm is it should be in such a manner, it should be designed in such a manner, it should follow certain property that if we have original data and if we apply message digest algorithm, we will be able to get the message digest value. So, there should be some possible way by which we will getting the result in the form of a message digest while by applying the message digest algorithm on the original message. This is the first requirement. Now, the second and the foremost requirement, second and the important requirement is if we know the message digest, we don't have the message digest algorithm in such a way that it should be reversed. Meaning thereby, if we apply message digest algorithm on the message digest, it should not be possible to know that what the original data is. Meaning thereby, if message digest is available, it is difficult to derive the message itself. For example has been given that 7397743 is going to give the message digest value 6. But if you know 6, you are unable to derive what is the value, the original number, that is 7391743. So, message digest algorithm must be have the property that if you know the message digest, even though you are not able to get the original information. And the third important requirement of the message digest algorithm is if we have one block of the message, we have another block of the message, and if we apply message digest algorithm on the block number 1, whatever message digest we will be getting, and if we apply message digest algorithm on the block number 2, we will be getting another message digest, and these two message digests should not be same, it should be different. Meaning thereby, for different messages we should get different message digest. It means that two different messages should not have same message digest. This is the third and the ultimate requirement of the message digest. So, even if the original message differs minutely, the message digest differs dramatically. But that is why the message digest gives the basis, gives the guarantee of the uniqueness related to a particular message. Even though if we are deriving the message digest from the same message, then we will be getting same message digest. But if there is certain difference, minute difference in between the two different messages, there will be huge difference which we will be getting as far as the message digest of two minutely different messages are concerned. So, this is going to give the guarantee of the uniqueness of the message digest related to the message. This is an example of a message digest in which a message is please pay the newspaper bill today, and the message digest related to this message is suppose this one. Now, in this second message, please pay the newspaper bill tomorrow. Now, the difference is between this message and this message is today and tomorrow, but you will be getting a huge difference because the first value is 3067, here you are getting 306A. The next value is 609, 0609, here you are getting 0609. But after that 2A, 864, 886F, 70D10. So, you are able to get certain difference in between the message digest if there is a change in the message itself. So, basically it is called the fingerprint related to the message, and that is why we apply message digest algorithm to find out the message digest. So, we have two algorithms for that. One is MD5, that is message digest 5th version, and then we have secure hash algorithm, that is the first version. Secure hash algorithm considered to be stronger than the message digest algorithm. This is the same illustration in which it is going to give the message digest should not reveal anything about the original message. If we have original message, we will get the message digest, we will get the original message too, we will get the message digest. But by knowing the message digest, it will be very difficult to find out that what the original messages are. So, as far as the algorithm of message digests are concerned, related to MD, actually this message digest algorithm was developed by Ron Rivest, and there are many versions which has been developed. First of all, we come with MD, that is message digest algorithm, then it is revised and become MD2, then MD3, then MD4, and later on finally they come with the idea of MD5. So this how MD5 algorithm used to work. Let us discuss that. The first point which is used in the MD5 algorithm is to add padding, is to do padding. The first step in MD5 is to add padding to the original bits. Now the aim of this particular step is to make the length of the original message equal to the value which is 64-bit less than exact multiple of 512-bit. Meaning thereby, whatever is the size of the original message, we try to add some padding bits so that the length of the total messages after including padding should become the 64-bit less than the multiple of 512-bit. That is what has been written. The total length of this should be 64-bit less than the multiple of 512-bit. And this padding is important and necessary, even though if the original message is of the size 64-bit less than the multiple of 512-bit, even though the padding is being done. And that is why the padding bits are 1 to 512-bit. And what we do in the padding, the first bit will be 1 and the rest of the bit will be 0. So for example, the padding bits can be 448-bit, it can be 960-bit, it can be 472-bit. For example, because 448-bit is equal to 512 minus 64. Suppose the original message is of the size of 400-bit. If the original message is of the size of 400-bit, we have to do the padding. And how much padding, how many bits will be padded? It will be padded in such a way that it should be 64-bit less than the 512, and 64-bit less than 512 is 448. So if the message size is 400 bits, so we will add the padding of 48-bit. Similarly, if the message size is of 900-bit, then we have to do the padding of 60 bits so that it will become 960-bit, which is 2 into 512 minus 64, and similar. So padding is always done, it is always added, even though the original message is already a multiple of 512-bit. So this is the first step, that is called the padding, and padding is done, again I am repeating, a padding is done in the number of bits. It can be from 1 bit to 512-bit, and it should be made in such a manner that the total length of the message will become 64-bit less than the multiple of 512-bit. Second step is the appending the length. Then after doing the padding, we append the length, and for appending the length, whatever is the size of the original message, excluding the padding, whatever is the size of the original message, the size of the original message is represented in the form of a 64-bit. So suppose the size of the message is 1000-bit. So if the size of the message is 1000-bit, then 1000 will be represented in the form of a 64-bit, and then it is added, so that original message, padding, as well as the length total becomes the multiple of 512-bit. So the length of the original message excluding the padding is calculated, and it is being appended at the end of the message block plus padding. This length is expressed in the form of a 64-bit. So if the length is going to increase more than 64-bit, then only the last 64-bit length will be used with the modulus 64. So the length of the message has now become the multiple of 512-bit. The third step is to divide. Once first of all we will doing the padding, and after padding we will appending the length, so that the message will become in the multiple of 512-bit. Then what we will do, we divide the number of into the number of whatever is the जिस message को हमको we have to hashed digest value निकालनी है, that is broken into the blocks, and each block will be of 512 bits. So this is the third step. And then fourth step is to do some initialization process, and in this we will be initializing the chaining variables. In this chaining variable we will consider 4 variables A, B, C, D, and these are the hexadecimal values which has been taken. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the A, 8, 9 A, B, C, D, E, F is B, F, E, D, C, B, A, 98 is C, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0 is D. And this is each bit is representing hexadecimal. So this one is 4 bit, so total 8 bit, and such for 32 bit. It means A variable is of 32 bit, B variable is of 32 bit, C is of 32 bit, D is of 32 bit. And remembering is very simple. You start writing the numbers in the hexadecimal form 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, A, B, C, D, E, F, and then reverse it F, E, D, C, and so on.